What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thingos back again for another video, and today what I wanted to do is a little interesting topic before I actually do the live stream, which will be uploading later today. Just wait. I'm going to make a video right now talking about something that a lot of you might be eager to find out, and I want to talk to you guys about it before they actually show their version of it in the animated series, and we can also come back and discuss it again and see how they switch things up. But of course, I'm going to be talking about Invincible again today, the Invincible animated series on Amazon. Dope as hell. It's doing everything right so far. A lot of changes here and there, but so far everything that I'm seeing I agree with, I'm enjoying, and I don't really have too many problems with the show. And the comic book, like I said, whatever you don't get in the show, you can get in the comics, so they're both like hand in hand right there. So just multiple ways to enjoy the property, and I love it. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about the character of Omni-Man now. Spoiler alert. For people, like I said, who don't want to know this, do not watch this video. I'm letting you know that right now. Do not watch this fucking video. Spoiler alert. If you don't care about spoilers as much as other people, you can continue to watch it. If you're still curious, you can continue to watch it. I honestly feel like you should not know this, but at the same time, even if you do watch it, it's going to be some new information that they're going to put in the TV show anyway, because that's just like the pattern that they've been displaying, constantly like fleshing things out even more and just adding more layers into what's already there. So I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with this reveal as well. But as far as what's already established and in the comic, that's what I'm going to talk about today. And that is the character of Omni-Man. Now, this isn't going to be a character breakdown of him specifically or anything, but what I'm going to be doing is talking about why he made the decision that he did, and you know what I'm saying, what he really is, like what the true story about the Viltrumites and what they are and what they do, and the purpose behind him murdering the Guardians of the Globe and what he plans to do with the Earth and stuff like that. So just his motives as a character, which I know, like I said, is going to be represented in the show well, but they're probably going to flesh it out and add more to it. But in the comic book, the reason why Omni-Man does what he does is that, like he tells his son in episode 1 about how he's a Viltrumite, and the race of Viltrumites are an alien race that, you know, they started this thing called the World Betterment Committee, where they literally venture out to other planets and they go out their way to make sure the civilizations are up to snuff. They help them with their technology, with their way of life, you know what I'm saying, give them assistance in whatever areas they need, whereas if they're sick, they might have medicine. If they're lacking food, they may help them with food. If they're dealing with maybe a warring faction, they might help them deter it and help to come up with a way for peace for both parties. All this bullshit and juice that he was just letting his wife and Mark sip, and apparently the rest of the world, or at least the people that he had to tell, in order to have them think that he was a good guy, he was on their side, this, that, and the third, when really the whole time he bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like Omni-Man flexing, you already know he got something else going on. And the way that they did it in the show, you can tell that he bullshitting there too. You can tell that he got something going on. You just don't know exactly what it is if you haven't read the comic book. Well, I'm here to tell you that the truth is the Viltrumites are actually the opposite of that. They aren't part of anything called the World Betterment Committee. It's actually called the World Conquering Committee. They go to different planets out of their way to make sure that they just add more planets to the Viltrumite Empire. They're kind of like how Frieza was doing shit in Dragon Ball Z, how he would enlist the Saiyans, because they also do that as well. Like other alien races that can prove useful, they also add them into their army, or they use their resources, might use their technology or some of their warriors from that alien race to also fight alongside them, or they'll just use them as maybe the front line or something before, you know what I'm saying? So it's similar to what Frieza did, where he was out conquering planet after planet after planet all throughout the galaxy, and he would get these other alien races, these lesser races, he would get them and he would kind of like indoctrinate them and force them to work for his empire. And then, you know, how they all had the armor and the scouters and stuff like that, where they would just be part of Frieza's army even though they weren't even in the same race as him. So, you know, that's similar to what the Viltrumites do. Now, they don't push as hard as Frieza did with making other races work for them. They mostly just annihilate other races when they say no. But yeah, that's what they do. They pull up to you, they ask you straight up, either join us or die, pretty much. Like, either become like our subjects, let us rule over you, you know, show us what you have to offer us. Let's, you know what I'm saying? We own everything y'all got and more. If you say no, then we just gonna let you go. You know, that's how the Viltrumites roll, bro. They conquer everything and they want everything. And the cool thing about it, well, not cool, it's kind of fucked up. They started on this when they did the Great Purge. Now, the Great Purge is an event that I hope that they shine more light on. Honestly, I would be okay if they had a whole episode dedicated to like the history of the Viltrumites and focusing on this event as, you know, the main focus of the episode. The Great Purge was an event that happened where all of the strong and the weak, like every Viltrumite, they just kind of like was fighting each other to the death. It was just like this huge, massive brawl that happened on the planet that took out most of the population, and the only ones that survived were the strong. And from that, they continued to build a new empire on top of the ashes. And that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be an awesome, especially with the action scenes that they've already displayed and done a great job of making in this show. It would be amazing to see an event like that happen in the animated series, just a full-on, just all-out brawl between just a group of Viltrumites. That shit would be dope as fuck. And yeah, like I said, after that became like the new empire. Yeah, and also they had another event that happened. I think it was called the Scourge virus, or I'm not exactly sure what it was called, but it was from this alien race called the Ragnars, and they kind of look like T-Rexes, but with longer, stronger arms, and they don't have eyes. They just have like nothing but teeth, and they did sharp ass teeth, and they kind of got long noses but no eyes. And so they look like T-Rexes but buff, and they have like, you know, longer arms and stuff and tails. And they actually are, I think, the only alien race, I mean, besides another Viltrumite themselves, that can actually really hurt a Viltrumite. Like, their skin isn't impenetrable to their claws. They can actually scratch them. They can bite into them. They can, you know, rip out their innards. Like, they can actually really kill them. Like, if you know the character of Conquest from the comic, you know how he looks. He has an eye scratched out. One of his arms are gone. He has like a little Thanos gauntlet where one of his hands should be. But the reason that he got those injuries is by actually fighting against Ragnars. They cut his arm off and scratched through one of his eyes. So it was pretty bad. So yeah, it's cool to see that there's actually some alien race out there that can really give Viltrumites a run for their money, but not much. And yeah, that's just like a brief history on the Viltrumites. I'm gonna have another separate video dedicated just to them. I already made one about them earlier on in my channel, but I didn't really talk about it as much as I wanted to. So I'm gonna make another video really going into the history of the Viltrumites, their planet, all that stuff, and have that ready for you guys. But this is just about Omni-Man. And like I said, he came to this planet because the World Conquering Committee, they actually sent him here as kind of like a promotion. It was kind of like the closest thing that their people get to vacation time in the World Conquering Committee. They sent him to the Earth as he can be like a agent, a sleeper agent there, kind of like priming the Earth, getting it ready for conquest. Not the character of conquest, but just getting ready for takeover. He's slowly seeing how the Earthlings live, learning about their culture, what they do and stuff like that. But all the while, he knows why he's really there. He's just enjoying his relaxation and time to chill, which the Viltrumites, a lot of time to them is a lot less time because they live for so long. I think the older they get, the slower they age. So he went on like a 500-year vacation on Earth, which is really nothing to him. But he ended up meeting Debbie, and he ended up having Mark, and that kind of changed everything for him. He didn't really go there for that. Like I said, he went there to relax and to chill and everything, but not to start a family. His end goal was always to remember where his loyalties lie, and that's to the Viltrum Empire. Whenever he was ready, he was supposed to, you know what I'm saying, when his time was up or any time before that, whenever he was ready, he's supposed to go ahead and just take out the planet. He could easily do it on his own. Similar, like I said, to Dragon Ball Z where they sent Goku to Earth as a baby and he was supposed to take it out and get it ready for takeover or whatever. They sold planets, but the Viltrumites, they just took shit over, and if they wasn't able to take it over, if their government said no or whatever, then they would just wipe them out. You know, Omni-Man, seeing how everything works on Earth and stuff like that, I'm sure he pretty much knows that they're not going to be able to take over the Earth. And if they are, it's definitely going to be hard with heroes like the Guardians of the Globe around, which is what led him to wiping them out. And yeah, that scene was dope as fuck. But yeah, that's why he's doing what he's doing. He's getting the Earth ready for Viltrumite takeover. Whether he wants to do it on his own or whether he wants to get it ready for the other Viltrumites to come, the story is further fleshed out as the comic goes along. I know the show is probably going to switch some things around. You have more Viltrumites that slowly get introduced into the story. They also come to Earth and meet Mark. The character of Anissa is introduced. I know a lot of people are going to like her. She's a female Viltrumite, badass. I got a video about her in a particular scene that's raw that happens in the comic that I'm questioning if they're going to put it in the show or not, that I also have a video about. I'm going to leave the link to that in the description below. But yeah, man, that's the real reason why Omni-Man is doing what he's doing. All in all, behind the scenes, this little murder mystery that's going on as to why he killed the Guardians of the Globe and what his real motive is. It's because the Viltrumites aren't a world bettering committee type alien race that go out their way to help other planets and stuff like that. No, what they do is they actually go out and take over civilizations. They wipe out civilizations. They get civilizations to work for them. They prime civilizations to work for them. They take over their technologies. They take over their people, their warriors. They're just conquerors. They take over everything and they want everything. And if they can't have it, they'll destroy it. So he lives by that code. And when he went to Earth, he went there with that mindset. But he slowly through the years been struggling with the life that he has on Earth with Debbie and with Mark, and also just being a hero because Debbie taught him that way of life, and also with how he grew up with the Viltrumite Empire, how they trained him and how he grew up in that life. And the interesting thing about Nolan's character is that he's constantly battling with that. Even later on in the comic book, when you're pretty sure that he's just 100% a good guy and he's not even like that anymore, he still has hints of that darker Nolan lingering inside of him. And there's this great talk scene that he has with his son towards the end of his journey and close to the end of the comic book, where he tells him, like, I can feel it within me. I could easily slip back and become that man that I was. It was you, son. It was you that changed me and made me the man that I am. Like, the world needs you. The universe needs you. They don't need me no more. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what he said in oh so many words. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a full character breakdown of Nolan Grayson, Omni-Man, you know what I'm saying, in the future. I want to do character breakdowns of all the major players in Invincible. I already got a lot of good videos up. I just uploaded one yesterday about Monster Girl. Be sure to check that one out. But yeah, man, let me know what you think about this video. What, you know, about the motives of Nolan Grayson and just, you know, the entire Viltrumite Empire as a whole. Like I said, what's so interesting about Nolan and this whole philosophy that he's living by is that everything changed when he met Debbie and when he had Mark, his son. I think his plan was that he was going to wait for his son to have his powers, to get his powers, and then he was going to try to tell him the truth about everything, about his world, about what he really does, and then hopefully get his son to work with him, and together they'll be able to take over the Earth or get it ready for Viltrumite Empire, and they'll just have another strong soldier to add to the, you know what I'm saying, Viltrumite Empire with Nolan and his son. I don't know how Nolan had this plan in his head, but it clearly did not work out that way. You knew it was going to be hard for Mark to just leave everything behind and just go with his father and start a whole new life. I love how they also foreshadow that with the discussion that Mark has with his father, I think at the beginning of episode 5, where he talks to him about how could you just leave everything behind like that? Why are you here on Earth? Like, why are you here on Earth again? Like, why are you here? Like, how did you meet Mom? Like, why are you doing what you do? And Omni-Man just let him know about how he came to Earth and why he's doing what he's doing, lying like fuck again, saying that he had a hard time after his parents died, this, that, and the third, and how his wife, Debbie, and Mark changed that for him. All in all, it's set up because Mark's saying how he can't just leave everything behind and just start anew like that. He can't just do that. He can't just say fuck everybody like that. When that's exactly what his dad is going to ask him to do. I'm betting on the finale, the ending, you know, when they're about to fight, when they're about to clash, when all this truth is coming out, you're going to see Mark is going to make a stand and fight for Earth against his father because, like he told his dad, he can't just leave everything behind like that, which is what his father did. You know what I'm saying? So it's real interesting. I really like the character of Nolan. I love that dynamic within him of how he's always battling between what he grew up with and what is right and what his son has pretty much brought to his life. And I'm going to be diving deeper into that. But all of this is going to come to a head. It's going to explode. And we're going to see exactly how they're going to depict this huge story arc and really the start of everything just getting way more crazy and just escalated in the story of Invincible when this event happens. I cannot wait to see the reaction that everybody has to it and what they think. And yeah, let me know what you think about this video, man. Like, dislike, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified for more videos like this one. And as you already know, I'm going to put the link to the Discord for the Invincible Disciples down underneath in the comment section, so hit that link, join the Invincible Disciples. We're going to keep the conversation about the series and, you know, whatever else you want to talk about, comic book related, manga, whatever, keep it going. And yeah, man, I'm gonna see you guys next time. Peace. And I already know somebody gonna say something about the glasses, man. You know, I was looking like Mickey Mouse a little bit when I had the do-rag on with the two little circles at the top, but yeah, don't make fun of glasses, man. I'm fresh like these motherfuckers, man. Bringing them back.